I'm Robert Gardner. Welcome to Screening Room. Some film people have said that animation is not part of cinema, and some film people have said that animation may be part of cinema. There are a lot of animators who don't think that cinema is part of animation. But whatever it really is, we're going to see more of it tonight. And we're going to see it as exemplified by two very independent and truly gifted people. First of all, Caroline Leaf, who's on my immediate right, and also by Mary Beams, who's sitting to her right. Caroline, there's a big box in front of you which isn't usually on Screening Room, and it has something to do with the way you make films, and we will get into that in a moment. I just wanted to explain to people why this luminescent object was here. Tell me, and really in so doing tell the audience, where you're from and where you are now, so that we can sort of locate you in time and space.
Well, I've been doing animation for 6 years now, and you know, I started at the Carpenter Center as a student, and I worked a while independently, and then I went up to the National Film Board, which is where I'm working now.
Well, we'll have a chance, I hope, to talk about the National Film Board a little bit, because it's one of the great institutions of independent filmmaking in the, well, in this continent, anyway. Mary, where are you in time and space?
In space, I'm at the Carpenter Center, where I'm teaching assistant, and I've been doing animation for 4 years now.
I understand that you're a product of BU, or at least you're a byproduct of BU.
Yeah.
In the sense that you went there.
Yes, I got a master's degree in real film at BU.
You mean in documentary?
Yes.
Because they didn't teach animation.
No, I didn't know about it.
Well, the controversy between animation or animators and filmmakers about whether animation is a part of filmmaking or not has something to do with the really graphic background to animation, I suppose, instead of the photographic background that filmmakers would like. You are an artist to begin with.
Yes.
And I know that you are too, Caroline. You painted, didn't you, at Harvard for a while?
No, but
Say yes.
I won't say yes, because I think I learned to draw by doing the animation, and that the first thing I was interested in was the movement. But if I had thought I should be able to draw before animating, then I probably would never have become an animator.
Well, you're very modest, and I know that you draw very well. So, and you, perhaps, you know, like a few other figures in the history of animation, I think will be known for having innovated in animation through the medium of sand. I mean, much in the same way that Alexeyev innovated with push pins, Caroline Leaf has innovated with sand, and maybe Eli Noyes has with clay. And who else with what else? I mean, they're Lottie Reiniger
and her cutouts.
I mean, you are, I think, tagged as somebody who has worked in sand, because you were the first one, as far as I know, to do so. You're not.
But it's also nice that many people now are doing it.
Okay. Well, now, we have a little time. I'm not sure how much, but we have enough time, I'm sure, to have a demonstration of this, because it's terribly important, I think, that people realize how you work when they see the first film that we're going to see of yours.
Okay. I work on a light box like this, and the camera's up above me. And I can do a whole film with a little pile of sand like that. Not that much.
Never gets any bigger than that?
Well, sometimes it does. And the first film that I'll show this evening is an Eskimo legend about an owl and a goose. So I thought I would draw an owl. And
I'm not sure. It's being seen with both your hands when you do that. Go ahead. Don't. I'll just talk a little bit maybe while you're doing this when you're not talking.
Sure.
This is really your right hand. It's being photographed through a mirror, and this is the reason that you seem to be a lefty.
Oh, well, I'm a righty. And when I'm working under the camera, the light box is the white background that you see, and the sand, which maybe now you can see that it's sand because there are lights from above.
Yeah, I hope that the highlights are picking up the granularity of this medium, because
Yeah.
it's really marvelous.
Wow, this is a fat little owl. And he has eyes.
What has to be understood is more than that that which you are just now doing, because in the making of a film, there must be literally thousands of such drawings in sand that you make. Is that not right?
Mm-hmm. Because there are 24 frames to a second that a projector runs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking of that in my animation, that I know if the owl should raise his wing and I want it to take about a second, I would make 24 drawings. Or perhaps I'd cut my work down and do 12 drawings and shoot 2 frames for each drawing.
In other words, you're thinking in time always. You're kinesthetically following the action that you're creating in sand, or you're endowing the action you're creating with a kinesthetic feeling, because you must project it into time. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So do you think this is the most important aspect of your work, or what is the most important aspect of your work to you?
Yeah, the movement is what interests me most. And the silhouette animation is, it's simple and it's clear. And so it is mostly the movement that is important. I think in my recent work I've gotten maybe too much into drawing and painted images. But
Too much into drawing and painting of images?
yeah, you can make an image so complicated that you can't even move it.
Do you want to change this now to show what the next frame might be like? Let's say, click, we've made a frame of this now.
Okay.
Now, do you want to...
Okay, perhaps I move his wings up very fast.
All right.
So my next frame might be like this.
In other words, he's really going to fly off the tree limb or something.
Yeah. And maybe when he flies, he lifts his wings and he sort of crouches a little bit.
How do you know it's a he?
Oh, this owl is a he. And so he all has to come down a little bit. And so I retrace everything that I do, and I retrace his eye, like this, and move his head down a little bit. And then I shoot another
think
frame.
It's fantastic, I really do. Don't you, Mary?
And then perhaps his wing goes up higher, and the sand spreads out like that. And his head comes down a little further, redraw his eyes, and now he looks up. And then I shoot another frame, 2 frames. And
What if you want to reshoot a scene? Let's say you get back your rushes and they don't quite come off the way you wanted them to. You can't go back to drawings the way you could with cell animation or with drawings, can you?
no, there's no way to reshoot, so my films are full of mistakes. And it keeps me on my toes also, because I know I can't make mistakes.
Wow, that's terrific tension, isn't it?
Well, that each frame lasts for so short a time on the screen is some comfort knowing, because one mistake does not show up usually.
Well, do you want to calculate quickly how many of these drawings you would make for a film?
Well, I know I've made here to show you 3 drawings, and 3 drawings might be 6 frames, which would be 1/4 of a second. So you could imagine maybe thousands of drawings for a 10-minute film. I'm not sure.
Well, there are 4,000 frames to a minute, and so there are 40,000 drawings.
40,000 drawings.
Okay, well, we're not going to see, we are going to see the owl, not this particular owl, but
A relation of his.
a
We'll take
relation,
off.
perhaps. In Caroline's film, the owl who
Married a goose.
married a goose. All right, let's go to the film.